All right, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. This will go over the homework, both sides, pages 43 and 44 today, with using a couple different strategies that we've been working on, particularly the number line and adding by place. Let's start with page 43, which is the one titled Sums That Equal 100. And when you look at all the problems, you have a blank space as one of your addends. Addends is a big word we use in class, just meaning any number you add is an addend. So if you have 2 plus 2, 2 and 2 are both your addends. So you've got one blank space for an addend, and then it gives you the rest of the addends, and then it also gives you an answer. So problem number 1 is a good one to work through. We can see it says blank plus 37 equals 100. So let's see. Let's do a straight line here. And let's start with the number line. So for blank plus 37 equals 100, right there. Okay. Step 1 here, one big topic we talk a lot about in 2nd grade, and I think it's even introduced at the end of 1st, is that when you're adding numbers together, you can always flip them and you'll still get the same answer. You'll still get the same sum. So in other words, if you have 6 plus 8, which equals 14, if you flip it, 8 plus 6 is also going to equal 14 as well. So keeping that in mind, the reason I brought that up is for your first problem, blank plus 37 equals 100, students should be aware by now that you can take 37 and put it first in the equation. So in other words, 37 plus blank equals 100. This may make it a little bit easier to understand how to go about doing a number line. So the first step here, I'm going to draw my dot on my number line here, and that's going to represent 37. And your goal here, if you're at 37 right now and you're trying to get up to 100, your goal is to find how much do I need to add to get up to 100. So right now we're at 37 and we want to get to 100. So the first step is to make some sort of jump to get you closer to 100. Now, we've been playing a game lately called Close to 100, and in that game, we spent a lot of time talking about ways to get really, really close to 100, even though sometimes we're not right there. It gets us very close. And the biggest trick we've talked about a lot in class is when you have 3 tens, for example, we look at our 10 spot, you've got 3 tens, we know that right before 100 comes the 90s. So what we have to ask ourselves is, how can I get these 3 tens to go up to a 9? To make a number that's in the 90s, because that'll be very easy to work with and get that number up to 100. So I'm looking at this here, and I see 3 tens. So I've got the number 3 in my head, and I could count up on my fingers for this one. I'm at 3, and then I'd put out 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 6 fingers I'm holding up. So I'm adding 6 tens, which is the number 60. And you can see here now, let me get a different color to make this kind of clear, our 3 tens plus our 6 tens will equal 9 tens. Really, really close to the number 100, because 9 tens is the number 90. If you put 9 fingers out and you counted all 9 fingers and you counted each one as 10, you'd have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And then we can't forget, this is an easy thing to do, but we can't forget to add our ones. That's one of the biggest areas I see that gets messed up when we're solving with a number line. Not that we can't do the math, just that we forget to add our ones. So 7 plus 0 is 7. So now you're at the number 97. You're super close to 100. You're almost there. Just a reminder, our equation that we did, that we are using here is 37 plus blank equals 100. So we start at 37. So far we've added 60 and we've gotten to 97, but we're not quite at 100. The next question we have to ask ourselves is, how can I get this 97 to go up to 100? I know I've got 9 tens right here. I've got 9 tens, and I know that 100 is 10 tens. Well, let's think about this for a second. If 100 is 10 tens, I've got 9 tens. Ooh, and I've got 7 ones here. So I'm at 7 ones. The question I can ask myself is how many more ones do I need to add to make a new 10? Because if I can make a new 10, our 9 tens plus our new 10 would make 10 tens, or the number 100. So here's 97, and I'm asking myself how much 7 plus what can give me 10. Thinking back to second grade, you've got your tens combinations down and figured out. You know that 7 plus 3 equals 10. And now you can see, here's my 7, here's my 3, that makes 10. And if I add that to my 90, my 9 tens, that's going to equal a total of 100. Now, we've gotten to this point where we've added, we're at 37, yep, and we've added all the way up, and we've equaled 100. We finally equaled 100. Now that what we have to find out is this big spot right here, this blank space, of how much did I really have to add to get up to 100? And you can see you did a jump of 60 here, and you did a jump of 3. So 60 plus 3 equals 63. So altogether you did a jump of 63. And 37 plus 63 equals 100. Now, in class today, one big thing we talked about is using more than one strategy when you're solving a problem. So in this problem, we're pretty sure that 37 plus 63 equals 100, but there is a way to double check to make sure we're correct. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use adding by place to check my answer. So we think that 37 plus 63 equals 100. But we're not sure, we're not 100% sure, so I'm going to put a question mark just to show that I'm checking my work. Does it equal 100? So adding by place involves doing just like it sounds. We add by the place. So here is our 10 spot in each number. 37 has 3 tens. 63 has 6 tens. So I've got 30 plus 60. And that equals 90. The way I figured that out very quickly is I could either put 60 in my head and count up 3 tens, or the number 30, so that'd be 70, 80, 90. Or I can do adding by place again. 6 tens plus 3 tens is 9 tens. 0 ones plus 0 ones is 0 ones. Again, I got to remember to add my ones. 7 plus 3, nice easy numbers to work with again here. This is what I like about adding by place. When there's easy numbers to work with, this strategy is very easy. So 7 plus 3 equals 10. Now when I look at my problem, I added my tens, which were in blue, and that gave me 90. I added my ones, which were in red. That gave me 10. So now all I have to do to find the actual answer and see, is this really 100, is add 90 plus 10, which I know at this point, yes, 90 plus 10 is 100. And the reason we solved it using adding by place here as a second way is just to make sure our math was correct. Oops, I'm sorry, not 90 plus 100, 90 plus 10. There we go, equals 100. But as you guys can see, we were pretty sure that we had to add 63 to 37 to get to 100. And then just to make sure it really equaled 100, we tested it using adding by place, and it did. So we definitely solved this problem correct. The only thing I'm actually, since this one is not a word problem, you would not need a word sentence. So at this point, we're done. I would definitely circle my answer up here, or just plug it in the way I did right here, just so that it's easy to see that's your answer. Some way just to make it really clear that's your answer. So that's how we would go about sums that equal 100, which is page 43. Looking at our other page, page 44, actually I would do page 44 as a separate video.